is, folks. Here it bloody is. Of course, the top two teams are already sealed the deal and got themselves promoted back to the Premier League. And of course, the top six has been secured and the playoffs no longer up for grabs. But what about the trapdoor down to League One? Of course, all three still got some hope down the foots. We'll take a little look next. Back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at, of course, Matchday number 46 out of the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, smash the unsubscribe, keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, dinosaur land related. We got it all here, boys and girls. Under one rooski, that's right, boys and girls. It's still all up for grabs at the foot of the table, of course. Two of the three teams down at the foot of the table will probably go down, but of course Derby still in the mix as well. They could get sucked into it, but they are in the driving seat. If Derby win, they stay in. As for Rotherham, of course, they've got all their work to do after blowing their lead or blowing their opportunity with all those games. And we'll talk more about that in a minute, of course, because I've got a big weekend, of course, up ahead. I talked about it on the League One video. I might not have talked about it. I haven't talked about it on the League Two because I actually I got them out early doors. But anyway, big weekend this week. I'm trying to do a mega watch along, which will incorporate 24 supporters from each and every one of the clubs in the Championship. Now, I am actually on the lookout for those. Still on the lookout for those supporters. I have some in the bag, but I'm still looking to fill in some blocks. So if you are interested, we'll talk about those details in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs, and I'm talking about the patrons. So let's get into it and talk about what I'm talking about. So here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, boys and girls. I'm talking about I need your bloody help. That's right, for this crazy ass megathon, which will be a watch along in my usual watch along slot. I will still continue to be watching Blackburn Rovers games, the game itself against Birmingham City, but I will hope to incorporate 24 fans from all the other clubs, including maybe another Rovers fan as well. So if you are interested in becoming one of my new best mates for life, this is how you do it. You've got QR code here, and of course, besides all that, if you don't like the QR codes, here's the link right here, right now. So you go to this link, there will be a form out there. You put your name in there, your email address, and the team that you want to contribute towards. The two stipulations are you'll need to be watching the game on iFollow, and of course the other one will be able to connect with me via Zoom. And if you're a little bit camera shy, you think this doesn't sound like your bag, well, let me reassure you, your moments of on-screen time will be very little, because we've got 24 people to be flicking around with, and of course my own face has to be on the show as well. So the chances of you being on for more than 5 minutes at any one time is quite slim. We're talking minuscule. We're talking maybe 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes here, there, and everywhere. Of course, to bring up to date with any drama. It's kind of like going to be like Soccer Saturday, but for the fans, but fans' point of views. So yeah, I'd really like you to get involved. If you're a Swansea fan, Millwall fan, Luton Town, Preston North End, whatever it is, QPR, Brentford, I'm looking for all of you guys. So please get involved in your comment section down below. But anyway, let's get cracking. Take a look back at, of course, the last week's picks. Of course, to bring us bang up today, kicking it all off with Birmingham. So kicking it all off, it was Birmingham City up against Cardiff, and ended up as a 4-0 banger in favour of Cardiff. Harry Wilson with a hat-trick on that one. Mark Harris as well on the score sheet, giving Cardiff the win. I actually remember the 2-1 win myself on that one, so I went the other way. Meanwhile, of course, Brentford up against Watford, of course. Watford already home and hosed. They don't really care. They're in party mode. Marco Voss and Ivan Toney giving, of course, Brentford the 2-0 win. Actually got that one bang on the nose. Meanwhile, Millwall also smashed past Bristol City, 4-1 win in the end for them. Jed Wallace, Scott Malone, Billy Mitchell, of course, Tom Bradshaw getting the goal score sheet. Tom Conway getting the goal for Bristol City again. Not good enough for those. 1-0 win for Millwall for me. Huddersfield against Coventry, end up all square. Again, both these guys will be back next season. Jordan Shipley, of course, for Coventry. Danny Wardy on the score sheet for, of course, Huddersfield, but of course not good enough in the end. Luton Town. They mustered a draw against Middlesbrough, of course, flying high, doing the business as well. Goals coming from Duncan Watman on the score sheet for Middlesbrough, Glenn Ree on the score sheet for, of course, Luton, a 1-1 draw over there. 2-1 for me as well. Norwich City smashed Reading, is that right? 4-1. Yes, it did. Party mode it was. Kieran Dow with a couple of goals there. Xavi Quintella on the score sheet. Timo Pukki on the goal score sheet. Josh Lawrence getting the goal for Reading, but again, too little, too late. Barnsley did smash. They got smashed by Preston 2-0 in the end on this one. Goals coming from Jordan Storey story on the score sheet. Chad Evans as well in a 2-0 win for Preston. 2-1 win for me. Meanwhile, Rotherham against Rovers was a bit of a damp squib. 1-1 in the end. But another point in the bag though for Rotherham. I think it's going to be too little for them, to be honest with you. Adam Armstrong on the score sheet for Blackburn. Of course, Lewis Wing on the score sheet for Rotherham. 1-1 in the end. 2-1 for me. Meanwhile, Wednesday against Forest was a 0-0 draw. Nothing to report there. Bit of a boring game. Stoke against QPR. 2-0 win in favour for QPR as well. Who's on the score sheet on that badger? Charlie Austin on the score sheet. Osman Kake as well for QPR. 2-0 win for them. 1-1 for draw for me. We have Swansea against Derby. Ended up as a 2-1 win for Swansea. Of course, lastminute.com as well. Playing a bit of a fringe team. Morgan Whittaker, Connor Robertson on the score sheet. Tom Lawrence getting the goal for Derby, but again, too late. Wycombe Wanderers with a 1-0 win over Bournemouth. Massive win for them, but again, it's too little, too late, I think. They're going to have to score like 10 or out of a bit of magic if they're going to get out of it. Of course, Uche Ukupazu on the score sheet, giving Wycombe the win. 1-0 win in the end. Luton Town against Rotherham as a 0-0 draw on that one. Nothing to report here. Of course, let's take a look at your picks then, shall we? Here we go. Kicking on off, Alex Wells did bits. Yogi Jackson also did very well. Of course, Ojo52 also did great. Damien Heaven also did great. Shane O'Donnell also did very good. Well done to you also. AJ24 also did bits. Okay, did okay. Yanabasa also did bits. James P50R, great. You did great. Avon also did poop. Ollie Trafford also did great. And Gaming Charlie also did great. Robert Hollis not too bad. He actually did poop. Jamie Oliver. Jamie Gould did poop as well. Russell Frost also did very well. And of course, Omar Escobar kicked ass and took some names. Tom Stain also did very good. Lee 2021 also did great, of course, and Vincent Hong did bits. What about your Kingpings right here, right now? There we go. Of course, Jamie Gould and Roberto Hollis. Iron Stringer also did poop. Don't even look at it. As for Ollie Trafford kicking ass, taking names, kicking ass. Where's the crown? What about the leaderboard? We'll have a look at it. Of course, I'll give you a bang up to date right here, right now. The situation is a 5-horse race, I believe. I believe it's a 5-horse race. It might not be. It's between Alex Weller and all the way up to Russell Frost. Of course, Russell Frost with a 6-point clearance at the moment over Gaming Charlie. There is 12 points, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points on the offering. 17 points on the offering. It's going to be a long stretch for OK and Alex Weller, but of course, Vincent Hunt and Gaming Charlie need a good weekend here. Basically, you just need to cut a Frosty's internet and then you might have a standard chance. But of course, that's the situation right here. And now we'll cover it into the playoffs. We'll go. Of course, the situation is this at the moment of the table. Norwich City, of course, are champions. Watford are joining them as well. Brentford, though, Swansea, Bournemouth, and Barnsley make it your top 6. Who'd have thunk Barnsley up there, of course? At the end of the table, we've got Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, and Rotherham in the relegation zone. If the season was to end today, they would be down. But of course, there's still a lot on the line. Of course, any one of the bottom 4 could go down. Derby against Sheffield Wednesday, of course, the pick of the matches, and Rovers sitting in 15th. We could go all the way up to 14th, and again, Preston will finish above us in the table. Let's take a look at, of course, this. A quick reminder, once again, I do need your help. If you are a fan of any one of the 24 teams in the older championship, get in touch with me, and you could be the star in a reasonably priced car, or a star on the show, of course, for 5 minutes of fame, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. I need your help. If you're a Stoke fan, QPR fan, Birmingham fan, Bristol City fan, who else we got? Watford as well. Even though you're getting promoted, get involved. I need your support on this one. It's ambitious. Again, this is the details, the link. Go to that link, put in your details, let me know that you're interested, and of course, I'll see you in a couple of days, and then we'll talk about it then. It is a piece of cake on your end. It's a nightmare on my end, but I would really do with some support in that regard. Anyway, let's kick it on forward. Take a look at the final games of the season for the vast majority of us. We're talking about the last, what is it? There's 2014. The 20 of the teams are done after this one. Let's get into the deep end then, shall we? Bournemouth up against Stoke City, of course. They're already home and hose. They'll probably play a reduced side here. But they played Stoke in the last 6 forwards. So Bournemouth, 1 for Stoke, 1 draw last round, of course, at Bournemouth. Was in the Premier League. It was 2-1 for Bournemouth back in February 2018. Joshua King on the score sheet. Lees Musset as well. Sheridan Shaqiri on the score sheet for Stoke back in the day. They also played this season at Stoke as a 1-0 for Bournemouth back in the day as well. Heading into this Bournemouth back-to-back defeats for them at the wrong time of asking. Of course, losing to Brentford and also losing to Wycombe. Back-to-back games without a goal as well. Hitting it at the wrong time. As for Stoke, without a win in 6. Pretty miserable football at the moment. We don't have the bookies odds on this one, but of course, a win for Stoke in 14th. They could go as high as 13th. As for Bournemouth, they are 5th right now, but I don't think they can move up to 4th, depending on who they want to play in the old playoffs. 2-0 win for Bournemouth on this one. Again, that's probably a little bit ambitious considering they haven't scored in 2. Meanwhile, of course, the biggest game of the day will, of course, be at Ewood Park. It is Rovers up against Birmingham City, of course. Played each other the last 6. 1 for Rovers, 2 for Birmingham, 3 draws. We played each other too many times last season. However, this season, in fact, last time around, it was a 1-1 draw back on Boxing Day 2019. The goal scorers on that day was, of course, Adam Armstrong from the corner, from the penalty spot, Kieran and Madibat as well, with a penalty for Birmingham not too long after. Of course, we also play each other this season at St Andrews as a 2-0 win for Rovers as well. We're looking to do the double over them. Rovers coming to this in pretty good form right now. Is that right? No, that's Birmingham. Birmingham coming to this in pretty good form. Just one defeat in the past 6. Rovers actually coming to this in okay kind of form. Just one defeat in the past 5. The one defeat was against Sheffield Wednesday. We're papering over the cracks. That's what it is. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Rovers coming at you at this one 11-10 on for the victory. 13-5 draw. 11-4 is your Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham are actually in 18th and win for them. They can move above Rovers up to 15th. As for Rovers in 15th and win for them, they can move up to Stoke in the end. I've gone with a win for Rovers on this one. 2-1 win. Birmingham are safe. Next up, of course, Bristol City up against Brentford, of course. Yeah, not much on the line on this one. It's all about just getting the points in, I guess. Played on the last 6, 1 for Bristol City, of course, 3 for Brentford, of course, 2 draws. Last round at the Thrashton Gate was a 4-0 win. It was a Thrashton Gate going in favour of Brentford. Brandon Bembo, Said Ben Rama, Ollie Watkins with a brace. Ashley Williams got himself sent off for Bristol City back in the day. Also played this is at Brentford, so 3-2 win for Brentford. So heading into this, they've actually gone 4 games unbeaten against Bristol City heading into this. Actually, Brentford actually winning 3 on the spin without conceding a goal in the last 3. In fact, just conceded 1 goal in the last 5. 6 even. Just 1 goal conceded in the last 6. They're looking airtight. It's the David Raya effect. Coming into this though, Bristol City 3 defeats on the spin without a win in 6. He's just signed a new 3-year deal. Of course, Bristol City coming to 70-4 for the victory, 40-5 as draw, 20-13 on is your Brentford. Brentford coming to this sitting in, of course, 3rd right now, and a win for them. They could close in on 2nd, but again, too little, too late. They'll be 3rd no matter what, so they'll probably play a reduced squad on this one as well. As for Bristol City, they're down 19th right now. Win for them, they can move up to 15th in the end. I still think Brentford will get a win on this one when they win, and again, keep it clean sheet as well. Cardiff up against Rotherham. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other the last 6. There's 3 wins for Cardiff, 2 for Rotherham, 1 draw. Last round in Cardiff, there was a 5-0 win for Cardiff back in February 2017. Goal scorers on that day: Kadim Harris, Kenneth Zohore, Craig Noon, and Juna Hoylett on the score sheet. Zohore got a couple of goals there as well. Heading into this, they also played this is at to the New York Stadium. Was a 2-1 win for Cardiff back in February. Of course, Rotherham back-to-back games with a draw. However, Cardiff without a loss in 5. It's actually on back-to-back wins for them. Heading into this, so the bookies odds on this one, we have Cardiff 7-5 for the victory, 11-5 is draw, 90-10 is your Rotherham. Rotherham sit pretty in. No, they don't in 22nd spot right now, but if them they can move up to 21st. As for Cardiff, they are 8th again, too little, too late for them, but a win for them, they can move up to 7th. I think Cardiff will nick it. Unfortunately, that's the end for Rotherham. Next up, of course, Coventry City up against Millwall. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played to the last 6. Of course, 3 was Coventry, 2 for Millwall, and 1 draw last round. Of course, at Coventry, or Rico, of course, was back in 2017, 2-0 win for Millwall in League One. It was back in Jake Cooper on the score sheet, Steve Morrison as well. Also, this is at Millwall, was a 2-1 for Coventry back in Jan. Heading into this, we got Millwall just 1 win in the past 5 games. That one was against Bristol City. Of course, back-to-back games though for Coventry without a win. Prior to that run of 2 games without a win, they won 3 on the spin. Now look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? Coventry coming to this 11-8 for the victory, 5-2 is your 50-8 is your Millwall. Millwall actually in 11th right now, but win for them they can move up to 9th. Coventry are 17th right now, and for them they can move up to 15th in the end. I think Coventry will win this one 2-0 on the end. Millwall just playing for keeps. Here we go though, Derby County against Sheffield Wednesday. It is the biggest game of the day. Of course, win for either side, and I think they're going to be safe. I think there's also a win for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday do have the better goal difference, so of course that plays into effect with the Derby situation. But of course, they've also got to bear in mind with Rotherham. But I think that's a bridge too far from. Well, we don't know. We just don't know though. Anyway, they played to the last 6. Get this: 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last round at Pride Park. It was a draw, which would be enough for Derby to stick around. Of course, however, they also played each other this season at Hillsborough. It was a 1-0 win for Sheffield Wednesday back in January. In fact, the back-to-back games. In fact, no, yeah, just the one. Just last time around, it was a win for Sheffield Wednesday. Heading into this, of course, 6 defeats on the spin for Derby, looking absolutely clueless. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday just 1 defeat, past 4 for them. That was against Middlesbrough a couple of games back. Oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be hot. I do hope Sheffield Wednesday do this, or Derby. You never know. But anyway, of course, heading into this, 30-10 is your odds for Derby on this one. 50-8 is your 11-5. Sorry, is your Sheffield Wednesday. 11-5 is the draw. Derby are in 21st spot right now, but if they can move closer to 21st. As for Sheffield Wednesday, 23rd, and with them they can move up to 21st. 1-1 draw on this one, which I don't think is good enough. But anyway, that's just my pick. It could be completely different. Next, of course, we have Barnsley up against Norwich. Let's get a look at this one, shall we? Of course, Barnsley are safe as houses in the playoffs, but they might want to go into this with a bit of momentum. They played Norwich in the last 6 occasions. There's been 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Will they be joining them in the Premier League? Of course, last round at Oakwell in the league was a 1-1 draw back in March 2018. Of course, Oliver Burnley on the score sheet for Barnsley, Josh Murphy on the score sheet for Norwich. They also played this season at Carrow Rovers 1-0 win for Norwich back in Jan, but they also played in the FA Cup at Barnsley. It was also 1-0 win for Barnsley. Heading into this, Barnsley looking at two wins and 2 defeats in the past 4 games, but of course they are home and host. As for Norwich City, they are also home and host with back-to-back wins for them, beating QPR and also beating Reading, scoring 7 goals in quick succession as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Barnsley coming in, of course, 70-10 for the 64 issue. Norwich 25 issue draw. A win for Barnsley in 6. They could go up to as high as 4th. As for Norwich, they are first, and they'll be first no matter what. I think it'll be a draw on this one. I don't think they either of them care too much. I think they're just happy with the outcome of the season. Next, of course, Middlesbrough up against Wycombe. Let's take a look at this one now. They just played each other one time in the past. That was, of course, a 3-1 win for Borough back at Wycombe back in the day. Still, Wycombe have an outside shot of getting out of this, but they'll need snookers basically to get out of this. Wycombe actually just 1 defeat past 4 for them. 1 defeat was against Cardiff, a 2-1 loss there. Meanwhile, Middlesbrough actually 3 games without a defeat there, 2 wins and a draw to boot, as they look to boost their cofferings at the end of the season. 4-3 on is your Middlesbrough on this one, 3-1 is your draw. 10-3 is your Wycombe. Wycombe actually down. They're actually in 24th right now, but a win for them, they can move up to 21st. Of course, they'll need a bit of a spanking. Sheffield Wednesday would actually. I don't get it. They'll need. How would they survive? They would need. What would they need? They would need a Sheffield Wednesday win, but then they would also need to outscore Sheffield Wednesday and by a bunch as well. So I don't see that happening. It's going to be a tall order. Of course, Middlesbrough are in 10th, and then they can move up to 8th as well. 2-0 for Middlesbrough to take the chains on that one. Next, of course, Reading up against Huddersfield. I knew Reading would falter at the end. Of course, played for the last 6, 3 for Reading, 2 for Huddersfield, 1 draw last round. Of course, at Reading, it was a 0-0 draw back in July 2020. They also played for this season at Kirklees. Of course, 2-1 win for Reading back in Jan. Of course, heading into this, Reading coming into this without a win in 5 actually. Just 1 win in 6 for them. As for Huddersfield, just 1 win in 6 as well. That 1 win was against Nottingham Forest. Look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? Reading coming into 2019 on for the victory, 13-5 is draw, 5-2 is your Huddersfield. Huddersfield down in, of course, 20th right now, but for them they can move up to 19th right now. Reading are actually in 7th, and with them they close in on 6th, but again, too late. Winner for Reading to end the season with a bang, but too little too late. Next, of course, Watford up against Swansea. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, plays the last 6. 3 for Watford, 2 for Swansea, 1 draw last round at the Vicarage Road in the league. Was in the Premier League. It was 2-1 win for Swansea back in December 2017. Jordan Ayew on the score sheet for Chino Narsing as well. Andre Carrillo on the score sheet for Wycombe, Watford back in the day. They also played this season in Wales. Of course, it was a 2-1 win for Swansea back in Jan as well. Heading into this, Swansea just 1 win in the past 4 games for them. That was against Derby just the other day. Meanwhile, 2 wins, 2 defeats the past 4 for Watford. They don't care. They're already in the Prem. Look at the wicked odds on this one. Watford even Steams for the actually 14-5 is your Swansea. 23-10 is your draw. Of course, Swansea are actually in 4th. The win for them, they could close it in on 3rd. And it looks like they are home and host in 4th for this one. 2-1 win there for Watford to seal the deal. Next, of course, we have Nottingham Forest up against Preston. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played the last 6. 1 for Forest, 2 for Preston, 3 draws. Last round at the City Ground was a 1-1 draw back in August 2019. Goals on the day was with Albert Adoma on the score sheet with Billy Bowden on the score sheet for Preston. They also played this season, of course, at Deepdale, 1-0 win for Forest as well. You've got to go back to 2018 for Preston's last victory, and it was at the City Ground back in December. Of course, heading into this one, Preston actually just 1 defeat past 6 games for them. The 1 defeat was against Brentford, a 5-0 loss there. Meanwhile, Forest just 1 win at the past 6 games for them. The 1 win was against QPR. Look at the bookies odds on this one. QPR Forest coming to this. Where are you, Forest? Where are you? You are actually at home, so you're sitting pretty. I just seen you. I'm going blind. It's 65 for Forest on this one. 23-10 is your Preston. 23-10 is your draw. Forest are actually in 16th right now. And for them, they can move up to 15th. North End are 13th right now. And for them, they could close it in on 12th. But again, can't get there. Too little, too late. Forest with the win. 2-1 win in the end. And QPR will take on Luton in the end. Of course, played to the last 6. 3 for QPR, 2 for Luton, 1 draw last round. 3-2 win for QPR back at Loftus Road back in September 2019. Ibideche, Ize, Naki Wells with a couple of goals there as well. Hannock Connick and James Collins on score sheet for Luton. Heading into this, though, Luton unbeaten the last 6, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws of the past 6. Of course, QPR just 1 defeat past 4 for them. 1 defeat against Norwich as well. Bookies odds on this one. We have QPR 21-20 for the victory, 25 is draw, 5-2 is your Luton. Luton will sit pretty in mid-table. Win for them. They can actually move above QPR all the way up to 9th. They win for QPR in 9th, though. They could go as high as 8th. I've gone with the 2-1 for QPR to get that over the line. That's what I think. Of course, that'll head into match day at the end of the season. Of course, we'll be back, of course, for the playoffs. And of course, speaking of playoffs, we'll talk more about that when that comes around. But of course, we've got this, boys and girls. Make sure you come around to the old website here to get yourself involved with the megathon that is this weekend. Please, if you're a Borough fan, follow Forest fan, Coventry fan, Bristol City fan, Huddersfield fan, whatever fan you are, get involved. I need all of you. I need all of you. Every single one of you. I would really appreciate it. To try and do something that seems impossible, but we could do this. We could do this together. Let's do it. Even if you're a Rovers fan and you're watching this, because I would like maybe to throw it over to other folks. I would really appreciate it. Get stuck in there. Cutly.com/megabr. And of course, just let you know, I've got a Discord live and action. There's another different QR code for that. And also, if you're not linked to the QR codes, there's a link. Go to there. It's cutly.com/Discord BR. And you can join the VIP brothers over on the. That's, of course, we do have a separate Discord for the Patreons, but of course, this is the general hangout. We'll hang out, we'll talk about the games, talk about whatever you like. You talk about recipes or day trips or anything you like. It is wide open. But of course, don't forget about the other one there as well. That's it, my friends. Be sure to give the video some love and smash the old thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We'll do it all again very, very soon, of course, for the next one. But until then, I'll see you all soon for the playoffs. Get involved. Until then, I'm out.